Hi, welcome to Pod of Mercy. I am your host, Longhair Linda, and our guest co-host today is...
Roxanne Pedder.
Okay.
Your noisy Australian.
Your friendly neighbourhood noisy Australian.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, so I know Roxanne through battle rap. Spoiler alert, most of my guest co-hosts, I will know them through battle rap because those are the people I know. And we just kept talking at events. Like, I think we've seen each other at maybe 3 events now.
Honestly, you can't shut us up.
No.
We tried to start this podcast half an hour ago.
Yep. And we're doing it now. We get it done in the end, at least.
Yeah, that's all that matters, isn't it? That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay, so Roxanne, we are going to start with a rapid fire round.
All right.
Okay, so very simple. We got 10 questions. Well, I have 10 questions for you.
Okay.
So we're trying to get to know you better.
Okay.
We're trying to get all 10 questions answered, but we've only got 60 seconds to do it.
Let's do it. All right.
So that leaves 6 seconds per question. Do you think we can do this?
I think we can do it.
All right. Let me set my timer.
All right. I'm ready.
And then we'll get this done. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, and go. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Coffee.
Favourite song?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Favourite Halloween costume?
Definitely Creepy Doll.
Dogs or cats?
Both.
No, you have to pick one.
Okay, dogs.
What's your favourite cartoon as a kid?
All of them. Pokemon.
One thing that makes you angry?
Slow walkers.
Would you rather be forgotten or remembered for all the wrong reasons?
Remembered for all the wrong reasons.
What's your favourite food to cook?
Cheesy bake.
Favourite movie?
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, holy cow, you did it!
Oh, yes!
Oh my god! Okay, I think I made that too easy because you still had 17 seconds to go.
Oh!
Should have done like 20 questions, right? I know that for next time because that was way too easy. You did good though.
Oh, thank you.
Good answers.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wait, what was the doll thing?
Oh, like, I know, so it's really weird, but like, it was like 2 years ago, I dressed up as a, you know those porcelain dolls?
Oh my god,
yeah.
My worst nightmare. Yeah,
I think they're the creepiest things in the world.
Yes.
And my grandma has so many of them.
I could never ever be at your grandma's house.
And oh my god, so I used to have them as a kid, right? And I played with them. And I always, like, I loved, like, the dark things. Like, I love thinking about dark stories. So I always imagined, like, a crack in the forehead and, like stuff just, like, coming out. So what I did is I pretended to be a cracked porcelain doll for Halloween, and I creeped everybody out, and it was just absolutely hilarious. And I didn't say a word the whole party. I just stood there silently.
I could never have been friends with you then. And please remind me to stay the hell away from you on Halloween. Because what?
Are we not hanging out at Halloween?
Absolutely not. We are not. We can't. No. Oh my god, that's scary. I hate, like, I walk into shops and, you know, there's, like, because one of my favourite things to do, like, is either go to IKEA or go to, like, what I call tat shops. So, you know, those, like, market-style indoor shops that, you know, they have, like, loads of different, you can kind of have stalls in there.
Oh.
And it's all, like, old stuff that people don't want and have probably given to them to sell, or they're selling it themselves.
I've never, like, do you mean like a sort of op shop type of thing? But not an op shop, but it's like a second-hand market, except it's indoors.
Kind of, yeah. So it's like second-hand, like, stuff, but it's like stuff that people actually owned, like, in their houses. So it's not like a car boot sale, because that's more of, like, you can find a mix mash of anything.
Is it kind of like a antique resale?
Yes.
Okay.
So antiques, right?
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff, I love to just look at it. Right? Because I just think, oh my god. And I tell myself, don't buy them because you're just going to fill your house with shit. Like that, I just know what I'm like. But I love going to those things. But then there's always a room that has dolls. That has these freaky porcelain dolls with eyes that just follow you everywhere. Honestly, I walk into the room, as soon as I see a doll, I'm out. I cannot. Okay, so I'm not hanging out with you at Halloween is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, that just goes my Halloween plans. You know, I already had the costume ready, you know. Like, I'm low-key
scared you know where I live. Please don't just turn up as a doll. I'll cry. I will cry.
I'm just gonna knock on your door and just have blood dripping down my face.
No, see the blood.
No, out of the crack. You know,
no. See, look. the crack and the blood, I can deal with that. It's the doll.
I mean, the more you tell me, the more I want to do it.
No, please. What can I pay you? What can I give you so that you just don't do that to me ever?
I feel like it'll be priceless though. You can't put a price on pure entertainment.
What are you, a MasterCard advert right now? Like what? No, that is not. We're not doing that. I can't.
Okay,
no.
All right. I won't.
Oh my god. Right. Okay. We're gonna take a break because already we've gone too far, and I need to lie down or something because that's terrifying. And we'll be back with our topic for today. Okay, and we're back, and I'm still terrified, not gonna lie guys, but we need to move on. Okay.
Guys, if you're listening to this, I'm organising a Halloween party.
I won't be in attendance. Okay, so I thought a good topic today would be performative politeness. And what I mean by that is feeling like you have to be polite even when you don't feel like it, or even if you don't like the person or how they're behaving, and you feeling like you still have to be super polite and nice and over the top, so not just respectful.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very very British thing.
Right. It is. It really is.
I mean, the whole stereotype of constantly apologizing, and I mean, I guess not really meaning it. Because I think there's a difference. Oh my god! I think there's a difference between performative politeness and genuine politeness.
Yes.
And I feel like what I've noticed at least is the British are, acing performative politeness.
But actual politeness, I think, needs work, right? Well, here's the reason that I thought this would be a good thing to talk to you about, because so we were at Apex at the Premier Battles event, and we went afterwards to one of the after parties, and I don't know if you remember this, but there was somebody at the next venue that we were in, there was somebody standing there giving out like wristbands, and they had like merch for this band that was doing like karaoke or something on the same night, and they gave you a leaflet and he gave me a leaflet, and you just put the leaflet back on the table. And so I kind of picked your leaflet up. I guess it was going out.
Wait, really?
No, seriously. So
do you still have the leaflet?
No. So literally as soon as we left that room, there was a bin. So I just put both leaflets in the bin. But then afterwards, because you went and caught the train after and left, I was thinking about it later that night, and I was like, why the hell did I pick up this leaflet? Because I knew I was going to put mine in the bin.
Yeah.
I could have said no as well and just gave it back to him, because then I'm wasting paper just to be polite to this guy that I don't know, who's given me a leaflet I didn't ask for. And so I thought it'd be such a good conversation to have with you, because clearly this does not affect you. Like, you just gave the leaflet back.
Well, I mean, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I wasn't very interested. Yeah. So I didn't really see a reason to take the leaflet. I guess it's just as simple as that, isn't it?
But that's the thing. That's what I was thinking about after, because I was like, I didn't want it either. I didn't care about what he was advertising. I didn't...
What I think is hilarious is that you picked up the leaflet that I put back.
Yeah. So not only did I take and keep my own until I left the room and put it in the bin, I also picked yours back up from the table to not be, I guess, rude. But it's not rude to give them the leaflet back. They could give it to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think the whole performative politeness thing, it obviously affects me as well. Sometimes somebody hands me something and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just take it, because I can't be bothered with the conversation of like, no, I don't want it.
Yes, because you then have to explain why you don't want it, and you might not have to, but sometimes they go, yeah, but why? I'm like,
I don't want to.
I always think of evangelical Christians and stuff, like people that will go out and give leaflets and be like, I've even had somebody say to me, because I had shopping in my hands, I have no hands to take this leaflet, and she still came up to me trying to give me this leaflet about some church, right? So I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm carrying on walking, and she's kind of walking alongside me. I can't walk very fast, unfortunately, because I had these 2 heavy bags.
You couldn't escape.
I couldn't escape. I couldn't, like, just pick up the pace. And so she's walking alongside me, and she's like, but do you not believe in Jesus' love? I'm like, what's Jesus' love got to do with this leaflet? Like, I'm just trying to get home. Like, I'm just tired. Like,
I don't need Jesus' love. I've got, ice cream in the freezer and a Netflix subscription. What more do you need?
And why does it mean that even if I was like, why does it mean that I don't want Jesus' love? Because I'm not taking your leaflet. What's so special about your leaflet? Is it like drenched in holy water that now it means I am going to receive Jesus' love because I've received this leaflet from you? I don't get it.
Well, I think it's like not to get too deep too quickly, but our whole society is kind of fueled by not only outrage at the moment, but guilt as well.
Yes.
You're constantly feeling guilty about what you're saying, what you're doing. You're either not doing enough, or you're doing too much, or you're not, like, everything kind of boils back down to social media, because even, like, I'm not even talking about leaflets anymore. We're constantly bombarded by messages thrown in our face every single day. I mean, it's the same as a leaflet, except we choose to do it by scrolling through Instagram or whatever.
It's 24/7.
Yeah.
You have it in your hand all the time.
And then, the whole leaflet situation as well is like, you feel guilty because this person's probably standing out in the freezing cold all day trying to hand out whatever leaflet or whatever, if it's, Jesus Christ or the Uber guy.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Same thing.
I don't know.
Jesus could drive Uber. We don't know.
I feel like Jesus would be a great Uber driver. Imagine the conversation.
Best. Oh my gosh, like, he just tell you stuff. See, I said gosh instead of God because we're talking about Jesus, and I was like, well, I don't want to be like, blasphemous, even though I'm saying Jesus is like an Uber driver now.
Oh, right. Also, does he drive?
No.
Because he turns water into wine, right?
But it doesn't say that he drank it.
Oh my God. You know how in Ubers you get mini water bottles?
Yes.
Would you get mini wine bottles with Jesus?
I feel like they'd still be water bottles, but you could be like, hey, my guy, Jesus.
Depends on how big of a tip.
Can you just turn this into a bit of wine for me? I've had a day. Can you imagine you leaving work, you get like the little bottle given to you and it's water, and you're like, listen, I've had a day, I need this to be wine. And you just go, sure. And it just becomes like your favourite wine. For me, it'd be like red wine. Beautiful, like Cabernet Sauvignon. That's my favourite type of red.
You see, I feel so Australian because I was just about to say Cab Sav.
Is that what Australians call it?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Australian, so you mentioned obviously it's a very British thing to be super polite. Is it the same in Australia or is it different?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an ass.
I say this every day about myself.
I mean, maybe we've got the politeness thing back home and I'm just
not. Listen, it could be possible. It could be possible. I think that.
But then again, I don't know. I don't see people like saying sorry all the time. I don't know. I feel like we're far more egotistical as a nation to apologize.
Yeah.
For bumping into a pole. I don't know what British people say sorry for.
I literally, as soon as you said that, I had an imagery of, like, for some reason, a guy in a top hat, of course, a Brit in a top hat holding an umbrella and walking into a lamppost and apologising to the lamppost. Honestly, that's what came into my head as soon as you said that.
I feel like that's a regular occurrence.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Okay, so obviously it's very British, and I think if it was the same in other places, and it wouldn't be such a talked about British stereotype.
Yeah.
British stereotype, because I feel like it said a lot.
Well, when I think of a typical Australian, am I allowed to swear on the podcast?
Of course. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want.
I think Australians have a very fuck off mentality.
Okay, explain.
Like, we don't care a lot about anything, really. It's kind of a sad thing, but a good, like, it's got its pros and cons.
Okay.
We're a very laid back kind of.
It might be the sun.
We've got too much sun to care.
Right.
Maybe that's why British people, because you guys are so depressed
We
because
have
you never
shit
see
weather.
the sun.
We have shit weather.
Yeah.
We get the sun 2 weeks out of the year and not consecutively. So
trust me, I've noticed.
I mean, we are our weather, I think. I really think that might be it. I don't think we could be laid back even if we wanted to be, because there's so much rain. There's just so much rain. I
think, you know, my hours of lying on a sunny beach has changed my viewpoint on life.
I think that's what we should all do. We just need to take like a good 6-month holiday, right? Hear me out. 6-month holiday.
I'm already hearing you out.
On a beach. Just relax. Just chill out. And then come back and approach life differently.
Agreed.
We'll try that. Let's suggest that to like regular working people. Just take 6 months out of your life and go to Australia and chill out. That's a reasonable request.
No, but like I genuinely think like the whole fuck it mentality of Australians is very common.
Okay.
Even if it's like with yourself, you're just like, if somebody invites you out, it doesn't really matter whether or not you want to go, you're like, oh fuck it. Alright, fine, I'll go. Or if you don't want to do, just like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. Like, you don't really
feel obligated.
There isn't really a very strong emotional attachment to anything.
Okay. And is that men and women? Like, it's not just a man thing, it's everybody?
No, it's definitely a general population kind. Australian though.
Okay.
Because obviously we're a very multicultural place.
Sure.
So
I just think, because that makes me think of like, I know that we have like the very, you know, super, super over the top polite British kind of stereotype, but I do think that as girls, like when you're younger, you're always taught, at least even if it's not a conscious thought, it's like you're always taught to be like a bit nicer and more polite than say a boy would. So like boy, you know, that whole like boys will be boys and boys can, you know, get a bit dirty and, you know, get themselves in some kind of shit, or but like with girls you're always taught, but that's not very ladylike, or you have to be this, or you have, and even if it's not constantly in your face, like you might have like a, you know, a decent family or whatever, but everywhere you look, like it's that messaging is like, no, you should, girls are prim and proper, you should be like this.
I don't know, I can only go off my experiences, and to be honest, I think I had a very laid back family. Okay. My brother was very sporty, and to be fair, I was very girly. Mm-hmm. I did ballet, like nice. I was into Barbies and all that crap, you know. But I also loved playing Lego with my brother and playing Xbox and going to my friend's place and playing PlayStation. I don't think in my family at least there were that many gender constructs per se. Yeah. But I definitely noticed as I grew up, like going to high school, that there were these like girly girls and then guyish like girls? Tomboys, yeah. Right? I never really felt that. I felt like I could go to the girly girls and talk about whatever, and I could go to the tomboys, or like I had a lot of guy friends as well. Like I could go to the guys and talk about guy stuff. Like I didn't really see that much of a difference.
Yeah, and you didn't feel like you had to be in one group.
Yeah, but then as I grew up even still, I definitely noticed that like the girly girls are like, oh, but if you're not a girly girl, you're not a girly girl, and if you're not a tomboy, you're not a tomboy. Like you kind of had to choose, which obviously sucks.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know if it's a British thing. I don't know if it's like, because obviously Australia is a British colony. We've got a lot of Europeans. I think it's definitely a European thing to be more about the gender constructs, because I've obviously got family in Germany. Yeah. And I definitely notice it there. Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty similar. I mean, I grew up mostly here, but I was born in Kenya. So I spent a few years when I was a kid in Kenya, and obviously most of my family is Kenyan. So, but again, Kenya is a British colony, and a lot of the customs and traditions and the things that you should do and the societal kind of things, they come from that very traditional British kind of, this is how you behave and this is what you should do. So there is a lot of that I notice, and even when I go back as an adult, even when I interact with Kenyans here and in Kenya, there's definitely a gender, like this is how you should be. I was really fortunate with my mum. So when I was a kid, I played a lot of sport, but I also liked to play in makeup. Like I was just, I really, that resonated with me when you were talking about how you grew up, because my mum was laid back. She did not care. As long as I was safe and happy, she was fine. And I loved sport. I absolutely anything. I loved being in trackies all day. I wore blue or black trackies. That's what I wore. But I was sick with a wing liner, right? So like I had this...
Best of both worlds, right?
Best of both worlds. I had this amazing like beat face as a kid. But I've got like trackies on.
Love it.
That was my whole style until I got to about maybe 13. And then I started being a bit more, okay, maybe I should wear some skirts and stuff. And, you know. And funnily enough, now I wear more like dresses and skirt type things than I would anything else. I mean, other than like when I'm just casually wearing jeans or whatever. But yeah, I think I was really fortunate with my mum. However, outside influences were definitely made very clear to me, and even as close as like family, just not immediate. So like, you know, cousins and whatever, there'd always be that kind of, no, you kind of have to be one or the other, like
100%.
And I was like, no, I don't want to. I'll just stop talking to you guys until you figure it out. And I pretty much just sit down until you guys figure out what you like or what you don't like or whatever.
Don't even get me started on my extended family. They're the exact opposite of my immediate family.
Why does that happen?
I don't know. I feel I've never felt more... Because like my mum, my brother and I, we're really close. But when I speak to like my cousins, my aunties and uncles... They're so traditional, and I feel like I can't have a conversation with them.
It doesn't feel natural.
Because, like, you just but the thing is, like, unfortunately, it sucks. You can't change those people's minds. They're not going to listen to reason or different opinions because they're so ingrained in them. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm worried about my cousins because they're a lot younger than me, and these people are going to be, like, forcing these roles onto them. Yeah. And what can I do about that, you know?
I think... The thing that, I mean, I definitely agree that it's gonna take a lot, if anything, to change minds once I think people get to a certain age and they've been doing something for long enough, it's, unless they want to hear something out, you're not going to get through to them. But I've always wondered with like gender constructs, whether it's, especially with the women stuff, right? Because I notice a lot that obviously there's a patriarchal system, but women hold it up, right? It only exists now because so many women hold it up, in my opinion. And I wonder if that's because, aside from the fact that that's how they've grown up, that they're also trying to protect younger girls, because they know that when you become an adult, let's say, or of dating age, and a guy asks you out, you can't just be like, I'm not interested, but thanks. That's what you're taught, right? Well, because you can do that.
Obviously.
You absolutely can do that. But for many girls and women, that can be dangerous, because that could be enough for that guy to just be like, wait, you know, because I feel like guys can be very entitled, especially certain types of guys, not all guys, right? Yeah. But certain types of guys, it can get to a dangerous level. This is how you have like stalkers and people that just like all of a sudden try and kill you. Like,
and rape.
And all of those different dynamics. And it's like, a lot of the time it's just because they feel rejected and it hurts their ego. And how do you reject somebody without saying, listen, I'm not interested? You have to have performative politeness. Like, you have to be like, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah. And also, like, just also from I'm bisexual. Okay. Right. So I've kind of also had that kind of thing of, obviously I can get with guys and talk about girls, and I can get with girls and talk about guys. And obviously there's still like quite a prejudice in the gay community for bis. It's like, oh, why don't you just choose one? Yeah. And I'm like, no.
It's a real thing, guys.
And as bad as it sounds, you know, like sometimes, because to be honest, like I do prefer girls. And sometimes when a guy's hitting on me, I'll just say that I'm gay, just so I don't have to deal with it. Yeah. Which in a way is like, that's like the epitome of performative politeness. Because I could just be like, no, thank you. Yeah.
But because you're saying, by saying, sorry, I'm gay, you're saying, I would, right? I would date you or have this drink with you or whatever, but I'm only sexually attracted to women. Yeah. And that's not the case. No. The truth is, you're not interested in that guy. But you can't just be like, No thanks.
Well, the thing is, I've gotten more comfortable with doing that though, at the moment. Like, at the moment, I'm just like, no, I'm good. Thanks. I've actually done it quite a lot.
So,
and it's empowering. It really is.
But
then they ask why, and they're like, because no.
Because no.
No.
And honestly, no is the final answer. Like, no is a complete answer. I need people to understand no is a complete answer. If I say no, that's it. I don't owe you an explanation after the no. It's just no.
Yeah. But I also feel like a lot of, like, regardless of whether it's a guy or a girl, I feel like there are a lot of people that you don't just hear no a lot nowadays. No. Because there is the whole thing of performative politeness, like, oh, you have to, like, consider somebody else's feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of over it.
Okay, I won't go that far.
No, I mean, obviously you have to consider someone. I'm not going to tell somebody to fuck off.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will, but...
Depending on how hard they push.
Depending on the situation. But, like, sometimes it's just nice to say no.
Yeah. I think it's that towing the line of respectful and performative politeness. For me, that's what I'm learning as I get older. Because I'm usually one of two moods, right? I'm either super friendly and I'll take shit from anyone and I'll be having performative politeness all over the place. Or I'm get the fuck out of my face. Like, I don't have a middle most of the time.
I think we have to find a middle ground of just like respectfully saying no.
Right, and that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to a point where because I always want to be respectful of people. I don't want to, because I want to be treated with respect. So it's the golden rule, right? So I want to treat people exactly the way I want to be treated. That's my whole purpose. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm focusing on like, look, I wouldn't want to be treated this way. I wouldn't want to be spoken to this way. So I'm not going to do that to somebody else. Cool. But how do I still like sleep at night? Because there are times when somebody has been really rude to me, or somebody has done something I just really didn't like, and I felt that, not just that I've kept quiet, I can deal with that, but that I've gone over the top and I've been polite to somebody who, in my mind, I'm like, I just don't want to be around you, and yet I've been polite, and that annoys me.
I've come to a stage in my life where I have so much energy for people, and I have so much love for people, and I have so much respect for people.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of getting over performative politeness, because I have noticed it a lot in England. And there are just some times where I just wish you could just where people could just say if they don't like me.
Yeah.
And then I could be like, cool, thank you for saying that. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I still struggle with that though. I struggle to say to people like, I just don't like you. You're a great person, you're just not my type of person.
I think people don't handle rejection well. And so that's turned into, we have to be overly nice. And now I'm all for being considerate, obviously. But it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to keep up with. I think that's probably why we struggle so hard, because it's like,
I also think that we've come to a time as well where we're constantly thinking of, I think it's amazing to be considerate, and I think it's amazing to be like aware of other people's situations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're constantly over-analysing everything, and there's such a fine line at the moment. If you say one thing out of line, it can be turned into this huge thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I think nobody is able to handle rejection. And also, we've grown up in a way it was like, you know, everybody's special, participation awards and all that shit.
Don't get me started on that.
and it's kind of breeded a generation of people who can't handle the truth. And I think that's where performative politeness has come in. And also, obviously, with social media again.
Yeah.
Constant need for, what's it called?
Validation.
Constant need for validation.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly on the search for validation and you get rejected, it seems 10 times worse.
It's got to feel that way.
Or like a comment on your a comment on your news feed. Being rude or whatever. It's like, oh, that's the worst thing in the world. Or like, I don't know, like the whole...
It can ruin your whole day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the reality is, rejection is a part of life. We're all individual people. We're not all going to get along. We all have different viewpoints and we all have different opinions. Some people are going to gel together. Some people aren't.
Yep.
And
Well, let me ask you this then, in that same vein. Do you think that political correctness is performative politeness?
Political correctness has gone too far.
What do you mean by that?
I mean what I mean.
Political. I said what I said.
I said what I said. Political correctness has gone too far. Because obviously there's nothing I believe more in than equal treatment of everyone. And obviously I'm a feminist. Like I believe in
you
equal
say
rights.
Obviously, but it's not always that obvious for people.
But the thing is, people take feminism as rather that feminism's got such a bad name at the moment.
So bad.
Because there are people who say under the name of feminism, people, when they hear feminism, they're like, oh, women are better than men.
Yeah.
But feminism is the equal treatment of men and women, which is why I say I'm a feminist.
Agreed.
But obviously it's got a bad name. But anyway, I don't care about that. I believe in equal treatment for all, but I also think that where political correctness has gone now is people constantly being on edge, especially in terms of comedy, and like one bad tweet 7 years ago can ruin someone's career and whatever. And it's like we live in a different time, and it's I don't know, like there's this whole outrage culture going on at the moment.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
But everybody, because we're constantly being fed information all over from everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're searching, like there's so many people who are just searching to be angry about something.
Yeah.
Obviously there's real issues out in the world, and I'm not going to reject that. But it's like like people are making up issues that just don't exist just so that there can be something to be angry about.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on the real issues that we actually need to focus on.
But is that political correctness what you described, or is that more that it's been co-opted?
I think political correctness has led to outrage or what you said, cancel culture. Because I see constantly that people are bringing up tweets or videos or things that have happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago that somebody said in some sort of context, and saying like, oh, this person is an awful person. Like, I know that if I went on my Facebook feed, I probably said something stupid when I was 13. And, you know, if I ever become a successful filmmaker, somebody's going to be like, Roxanne said something racist when she was 12.
Yeah.
or sexist. And I mean, I'm of the view as well, because I follow a lot of YouTubers and whatever, and comedians, and I don't think that there's anything that we can't joke about, because obviously there's jokes and then there's malintention, and they're two different things.
I mean, I mostly agree, but I kind of disagree at the same time, and I'll tell you why. So the stuff I agree with, obviously, yeah. So for me, I mean, we both we both like battle rap. So straight away we know we like offensive stuff. I like offensive jokes. I think that if they're funny, they're funny. I don't care exactly. If it's like, if it's insulting somebody, if it's poking fun at something that a category that I might fit in. If it's funny, it's funny. I don't care, right? Here's the thing. I think that maybe it's just that my definition of political correctness might be slightly different, and it could be wrong too. I think that the intention behind political correctness was good. And I think that, you know, when we talk about things like, you know, just watch how you say certain things in regular life, I think that's a great thing. I think, I want to clear that up. Like, obviously, we need to be politically correct. Yeah. On a day-to-day basis. Right. And I think that's where the disconnect is, because... And again, it's like we're blaming social media for everything, but I think we can. I think we can. Yeah. It's the downfall of society. Well, here's the thing. I think because it's so concentrated, it feels like it's everything, right? It feels like the entire world is in this particular section that we're in that moment in social media, right? So you could see a trending topic on Twitter and it could be about a celebrity, or it could be about a politician or some kind of news, and it feels like everyone in the world is talking about it. But the reason it's a number one trending topic is because maybe 300,000 tweets have been made about it. 300,000 in a world of 7 billion is not everybody in the world talking about it.
Yeah.
But if your whole timeline is that, if everybody you know and interact with on a daily basis is talking about that, then it may as well be the whole world is talking about it, because your whole world is, right?
Yeah.
So when you have things like cancel culture or outrage culture, it's like everyone kind of piling on. And I think another problem with social media is not just that it's so concentrated, but it gives us all a voice. That's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because what you do with that voice, people need help with, right? and I think that's why like it becomes so difficult, because everybody has something to say, but not everybody is being responsible with what they say, and not everybody is being genuine with what they say. There are plenty of people that I've met in real life who do not behave the same way as they do on Twitter.
Well, of course, nobody behaves the same way they do on the internet, because we've all got the protection of a screen behind us.
Right, but not even just that, right? I feel like I get what you're saying, because it's that kind of like people might be a bit more brazen online because there's no consequences, right? But more than that, I find depending on their audience, they can behave very differently. There's a lot of people right now who do like think pieces on stuff, who whenever anything happened, they haven't got the whole information. It's just happened. It's just happened, and there's literally been 2 tweets about it, and then all of a sudden there are 10 different think pieces out there about it already, as if they have all of the information. Yeah. No facts in it, maybe one fact, and then everything else is opinion, right?
100%, yeah.
But that's now news. Everyone has got that as news. Yeah. And so it feels like that's where that's come from. And to go back to the whole political correctness thing, I feel like it was, the idea of it was, hey, in your daily life or at work or when you interact with other people in society, maybe try not to be a dickhead all the time, right? If something doesn't affect you, if somebody likes the same gender or doesn't conform to a gender or is trans or is whatever, a different race to you or practices a different religion to you, just like, if they're not bothering you, leave them the fuck alone. I think that's what political correctness was trying to be.
Well, I think that is what it is trying to be, but it's not what it is.
It's not what's happening. What's happening is everyone's like, I can make some money from this. I can get some attention from this. I can do this. I'm pissed off today, so I'm going to take it out on this one person who I don't know, and I'm going to get all of my little Twitter friends or all of my little whoever friends, and we're going to just go in on this person, right?
Without any fact checking.
But then I also think that because we have so much information at us at once, it's overwhelming. And we are now very, very aware, whether we want to or not, that this world is a lie, right? Everything that you're taught...
Everything's a lie.
No, but everything that you're taught about people are inherently good, and politicians are looking out for you. And this, right? All of this stuff that you grow up, everyone should share. And then you look around and you go, oh, wait, nobody is sharing. Everyone's either poor or you have like this tiny, minute number of people who are stupidly rich. So then you're like, okay, wait, what? And so you have all of this information. And it feels like all of that stuff is too big to deal with. But you know what? Kevin Hart said something about being gay. So I'm going to go after him. I know that was 10 years ago. But I can control that. I can't control what the Prime Minister does. Or what the President of the United States does. Or, you know, what's happening in this genocide that's happening currently, I believe, in China of Muslims, right? Yeah, I can't control the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I cannot. These are all too huge. But you know what I can do? I can talk about this comedian who made a joke 10 years ago. And I can talk about it all day, all night. I might be able to write for an online publication, and they might pay me because they'll have ads and, you know, people are clicking on it because they're angry too. They just don't know at what, right?
Well, the thing is, like, we're all angry.
Right.
Because in reality, we do care about what's happening in the government and what's happening in the world, but we can't do anything about it. So that's why we get angry at Kevin Hart for saying a gay joke 10 years ago.
Right.
Because we're angry.
Yeah.
And we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, we don't know, where do we put it? Right?
Kevin Hart.
Where do we put it? You have
Kevin
to put
Hart.
it somewhere. And so it's Kevin Hart. It's his fault.
Clearly.
It's all his fault.
It's all Kevin Hart's fault.
Exactly. So I think that's what ends up happening. And I think that that's why it's been perverted in that way. But I think the idea of it was great. Whereas it's just we've messed it up.
But you can talk day and night about the idea of an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reality of it is so much different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
It's tough.
No, it is. It's really tough because it's like it's how you navigate.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to my question. Do you think it is the same as performative politeness, being politically correct? The reality of it. So being told that, hey, listen, don't be a dick, is that because you might feel like being a dick. So technically,
it's
is it the same?
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, it is. It's not the same though, because like performative politeness is like cutting in front of line in, I don't know, like it's like it's not really on the same spectrum, because like you apologize to someone you bump into, that's not like political correctness.
No,
like,
but it's you, even if because I will say sorry even if it's not my fault. Like if we bump into each other in the street, either it's a complete accident on both our parts, or they bumped into me because they weren't looking and whatever, right? It just comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But that's technically performative politeness, because I don't actually have anything to be sorry for. I'm not sorry unless I did hit you, right? But I've still said it because it's the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
But what if I'm homophobic? And no, hear me out. I'm obviously not, right?
No, I like bump into someone in the street. Like, you're gay.
That's gonna be my new go-to. No, but what if I'm homophobic and I'm now resisting the urge to use a slur, right? A gay slur.
All right. Okay.
So if I'm resisting the urge, if I'm not saying what I want to say, that's technically performative politeness, no? Because I'm not saying what I want to say.
Well, yeah. It's not performative politeness, because I think performative politeness is being polite for no reason.
Okay, so it's going overboard.
Being polite for no reason. That's what I believe performative politeness is being polite for the sake of it, with no intention behind it.
Okay.
Whereas not saying a racial slur or a homophobic slur is just not being a dick. Like, if you really feel the need to say a racial slur or a homophobic slur, like, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what's wrong with me?
So, okay,
so
would you say that performative politeness is more of an action and political correctness is more of like an inaction? So if you want to be a dick, can you just not? That's politically correct.
Yeah. If you want to, like, it's not even wanting to be a dick, just, like, think about the consequence of you being a dick.
Yeah.
Whereas performative politeness is just being polite for no reason, or for the, like, there's nothing behind performative politeness. You're not even being polite to be polite.
Yeah.
That's like the thing.
Because I mean, technically being polite is I think it's like a behaviour or action that's considerate of others. That's just being considerate. But performative politeness is like, I'm going out of my way to show that I'm really not, even if I don't, there's nothing behind it. And like, so I take it that you're the type of person then that would prefer to just have an honest
100%.
conversation, like
100%
relationship with somebody in terms of face value, rather than somebody being extra nice and they don't like you.
No, I can't stand it. I can't stand, like, because I can tell when somebody doesn't like me. And if they're polite, I just want them to tell me to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, don't...
I don't have to go that far. Can they not just be...
just tell me to fuck off, please. Just tell me to fuck off.
All right, so they can't just say, I don't want to hang out with you. No. They have to actually go all the way to swearing at you in your face.
But like that... But it's as simple as that, isn't it? It's just like, I have... My one philosophy, like, my one idea of life is like all we have as an individual, all we have is time. And if I'm gonna spend time on a person and they don't like me and they don't want to hang out with me, I don't need to because then I'm wasting my time.
That's such a good way to look at it.
And I hate that because there's so much I want to do, and I think there are so many amazing humans on this planet to meet.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't like me, just straight up tell me, and I'll be like, thank you very much, enjoy the rest of your life, I'm gonna go get an ice cream and talk to
That's the second time you've mentioned ice cream today. Like, are you, do you just want some ice cream right now?
I've clearly got things on my mind. I'm talking about the real issues here.
Of course. Ice cream, got it.
Tip for your next podcast.
Yes. Definitely.
Bring
ice cream.
Bring
right,
ice cream.
I'll have it ready for the next episode. Alright, well, it's not really a good segue, but...
Hit me.
Gonna move on to the final segment of the episode,
okay.
And this is called Mahakama.
Mahakama, what does that mean?
So Mahakama is, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay. I think I am.
I'm definitely not. So you can blame me.
Yeah, I'll blame you. It's fine. So it's Swahili for court.
Court.
Yes.
Okay.
So as in a
judge. Okay. Yes.
In a courtroom. Yeah. Okay. So I thought it would be, because basically I'm trying to be a little bit less judgmental.
Okay.
At least trying. Not always working, but I'm really doing my best.
Hey, that's all that matters.
So I figured a good way is if I have an outlet, if I have somewhere like this podcast where I can judge somebody, then maybe in my regular life, the rest of the day, I'll just be fine because I know that I've got this to look forward to.
Let's get some judging done.
So basically, I'm going to give you some information. You probably know about this one already.
Okay.
And then we're gonna chat it over, and we're gonna see if this person really should just get in the bin, or if they should get some kind of mercy.
Mercy or no mercy.
Mercy or no mercy.
Mercy or no mercy.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no real repercussions. We're just talking, obviously.
Imagine.
Just disclaimer: we are not going to do anything to these people.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm not Roxanne Might. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so you probably have heard about this.
Okay.
Diddy. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever he goes by these days.
Because I know who that is.
You don't know who Diddy is? Wait.
Okay, what? Yes. P.
Wait.
Diddy.
Wait, I can't tell if you're serious or not.
I feel like the judgment's on me now.
No, there's no judgment. Just questions.
Okay, what's it? Musician, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
So
what's he done?
Oh my god, I don't know how to recap his career.
He sounds familiar. I'm really bad with names.
Do you know what? I'll show you a picture because I refuse to believe that anybody exists that doesn't know who this is.
Okay. By the way, I am somewhat behind on news because I am trying to limit my social media.
Okay. Oh, so you won't have heard this story then.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Can I see like a song that he's done, or
I mean,
what's he done?
Okay. Didn't expect this to happen. Okay.
American rapper. Okay, that gives me some
currently on Wikipedia.
I'm on Wikipedia. Sean John Combs, also known by the stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Puffy, or Diddy, is an American rapper, singer-songwriter, record producer, record executive, actor, and entrepreneur. I hate that word. I hate it so much.
Why?
I'm already judging him. No mercy. No mercy. Absolutely no mercy.
He's an entrepreneur. That's it. No, we hate
That's it. That is it. I have no respect.
Okay, I cannot get over this. Like, you've had to Google Diddy. This is the best day of my life. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Who he is really doesn't actually matter that much.
Tell me about Puff Daddy. I said that with a serious face, by the way. Just hope you all know. I said Puff Daddy with no I said that expressionless. I feel like I should be commended.
Ooh, okay. Get it together, Linda. Right. So
tell me about Puff Daddy.
It's just the way you say it.
Give me the lowdown on Puff Daddy.
Okay, so who he is really isn't that important. His age is. So he's 49.
49, about to hit his midlife crisis.
Well, okay, yes. So he...
Has he hit it a year early?
I don't know if I'd call it a midlife crisis. I think it's just like if you're a celebrity for that long, I feel like your whole life becomes like a midlife crisis. Do you know what I mean? Like I find that men in entertainment behave in such a weird way anyway.
I think anyone in entertainment is just somewhat mentally screwed up.
Okay, fair. I can't argue that. Anyway, so he's 49 years old.
Okay, yes.
And for a long time he was with a singer called Cassie, who has now moved on.
Okay.
So the next person he decided to date is a lady named Lori Harvey.
Okay.
Lori Harvey is not particularly famous, but she has a famous dad, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
By the look on your face, I'm guessing you don't know who he is.
I didn't know Puff Daddy.
Yeah, so I think, so Steve Harvey initially was a comedic actor. He's now a talk show host. He's like in his 50s. He's 62.
Okay.
And
12 years.
He's very well known, just in general, right?
Okay.
So he's 62.
Yes.
Puff Daddy or Diddy is 49.
So 13 years difference.
13 years difference between
Puff Daddy and Daddy.
Yes, 13 years difference between Puff Daddy and Daddy.
So
I love
somebody's got some daddy issues.
Well, here's the thing. Lori Harvey's 22.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So age is just a number as long as it's legal.
A number as long as it's legal. And that's why I thought I'd pick this, because it's one of those ones where no one's doing anything
illegal
against the law. There's nothing in there there's nothing in any other stories that make it seem as if there's been any kind of manipulation or anything like that either, because Diddy or Puff Daddy and Daddy, which is now what I'm referring them to them
I'm
as.
so glad. Yeah.
So they were on a yacht together. Okay. So it was Puff Daddy, Daddy, Lori Harvey, and Mummy, her mum, right? So it was like a couple's yacht date, but it was like the parents, their 22-year-old daughter, and her 49-year-old boyfriend.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So with that information,
yes,
what are your thoughts on Puff Daddy, the 49-year-old,
and the relationship with
the 22-year-old Lori,
little daddy's girl?
Oh God. Yes.
Daddy's girl.
There's a lot of daddies in this. Yep.
I mean, she's not famous. Okay, so
she doesn't do anything, but like,
what is she?
She's famous by proxy.
Is she an entrepreneur?
We know how much you love entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Let me see if I can, because honestly I hadn't heard of her until this news broke.
I mean, there's two situations, because obviously from an outside perspective you can't know whether or not the relationship's genuine.
Yeah.
Usually if a 22-year-old girl is going with a 49-year-old famous man, it's either for fame, like, because a 22-year-old, she's probably some like fucking Instagram influencer or something, right?
Well, here's the thing. She's got a following, a very strong following on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
She's got 1.3 million followers. So yeah.
So
she is, I guess, an influencer. But
well, how long's the relationship been?
It's been a couple of months.
Oh, okay. And he's already, both daddies are already on the yacht.
They're on the yacht, vacationing together in Italy.
Well, I mean, in my personal opinion, it's not going to last. Either Puff Daddy is gonna find a new daddy's girl, or whoever this daddy's girl is, Miss Harvey.
Miss Harvey, yeah.
Miss Harvey. I don't know. Well, obviously, I don't know either of them.
Does it make a difference?
Or what their relationship status is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to be perfectly honest. I really couldn't give a shit.
It's fair. Totally fair.
No, but I mean, age is just a number, because it's legal. There's nothing that, says that there's been any, You know, as long as he's treating her with respect and she hopefully respects herself in some way. But then again, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. So we don't really know like a huge deal about her because she's not like out here giving just a whole bunch of information about her or her relationship.
Okay.
But the reason I thought I should bring it up is because a lot of Steve Harvey's fans, so Daddy's fans, they're like, how can you just let your,
it's not really his choice, is it? It's their relationship.
But what they're saying is you're like on holiday with them, you're on a yacht and like everything's cool. Like, how are you just fine with this, your 22-year-old daughter?
Well, I'm pretty sure Daddy's been with some 22-year-olds in his life. I mean, isn't that what?
I mean, I don't know about all of that.
Well, I mean, what is he, a comedian?
He was. He's now more known as the host of like Family Feud, and he has a talk show. Right. He gives advice.
So he's in the public eye.
He's in the public eye, and
he's getting some poo-tang.
He's married, so I hope not. I mean, I hope not, other than his wife. Listen, a girl can be optimistic, okay? I'm just saying I don't have all of the information.
Okay, well, you know, I mean, but then again, like, if we don't have all the information, I don't. But then again, what is there to give mercy to or non-mercy to? Like mercy to their relationship, their relationship, or the relationship between Puff Daddy and Daddy, or
no. So it's kind of twofold. So because fans were calling out Steve in particular, do you think that Steve is wrong for being like, listen, she's a grown-up, like what am I going to do?
Well, yeah.
And secondly, do you think that Diddy is wrong because he's going after somebody who's a lot younger than him?
Hey, if a 49-year-old can pull a 22-year-old, all respect to him, I suppose. I mean...
So we're saying mercy on both counts because it's not, like, you just don't care about it enough. As in, like, in terms of the age thing.
I don't really... yeah, I mean, the whole thing about, like, the public getting involved in other people's private lives is... I mean, that's the whole problem with, you know, our modern world is, like, we care so much about people that we don't even know. Like, we, like, glorify celebrities and we think that they are like on a whole new... like, that we put them on a pedestal, but at the end of the day, they're just as screwed up as we are.
Well, with that being said, if it was, like, your neighbour...
My neighbour...
Your 49-year-old neighbour, all of a sudden he's moved in his 22-year-old girlfriend, would you be like, dude, what is going on? Or would you just be like,
I mean, as long as I knew it was, you know, kosher, they were all happy and, you know,
so as long as, like, there's nothing illegal,
like,
everything's
consensual. As long as, you know, nobody's being, you know, lied to and nobody's being hurt, I think that's really all that matters, isn't it? I mean, it's probably from, if, you know, Puff Daddy is as big as you say he is, maybe she's just trying to...
It blows my mind that you just said that. Sorry, go on. Sorry, continue.
You know, maybe she's just trying to gain some traction, or maybe she does like him. I don't know. It could be either way, but usually, you know, a 49-year-old and a 22-year-old. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll be married till the day he overdoses. Or I don't.
Okay.
Isn't that usually what happens with celebrities? I don't know. I don't keep up that much. Anyway, I guess mercy, if that's an answer or not.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
To whoever.
Listen, I'm pretty much on the same thing as you. It's just that it popped up on my newsfeed again because somebody was talking about, you know, if they were Steve and, you know, they built a life for, you know, him, for themselves and their kids and stuff, and then their daughter went and started dating somebody who wasn't much, you know, younger than he was, that they would be so, like, they'd feel like they'd failed as a parent.
Really?
And, like, that's what I saw. And as I was reading that, I was like, I mean, wait, is it that deep? That's why I thought, let me bring it up, because
I mean, to be honest, like, if it's a genuine relationship and they love each other, like, good on them. Like, everything is so short term nowadays, so you may as well just enjoy it while it lasts.
Good on.
So,
to be fair, I pretty much agree. It's just by seeing that post, I was like, well, maybe I'm on my own on this, because it had likes as well. The reason I saw it wasn't somebody I follow. It was a viral tweet.
Okay,
so I was like, wait. So a bunch of people agree with this clearly, or they like it, and
but then again, like, some, like, I feel, I don't really even I've got a Twitter account, but I've used it like twice.
I think you just used it to like message me one time, and that was it.
Honestly, that was the one time I was on Twitter. I got Twitter like 6 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got Twitter in 2008. No, 2000. Well, my first Twitter, I got it in 2008.
I got Twitter 6 months ago because no one in Australia uses Twitter.
Really?
I don't know a single person in Twitter is so American.
So what does everyone in Australia use?
Instagram.
Yeah.
Everybody uses Instagram.
Instagram is. But I still love Twitter because of what it was.
But then again, I got Twitter 6 months ago. I don't even know what Twitter was or what it could be. I have no idea.
Twitter was this. I mean, back in the day when I joined. I mean, the first account I got was in 2008, and then something happened with the password and I got locked out, and so I started a new one like literally at the start of 2009. And when I was first using it, it was this super cool place that only few people knew about around the world.
Yeah.
It didn't have a bunch of users. The most popular user on Twitter was Ashton Kutcher because he had like 1 million followers, and everyone was like, whoa, that is crazy. Because he was like super ahead of the curve, and he was one of the very first, like, probably the first celebrity that like endorsed this kind of geeky, techie website that nobody was really using.
Yeah.
And
I love Ashton Kutcher's crazy, man.
He's nuts.
I love it.
Same. But like back in the day, like it used to be when celebrities were then joining, it was very authentic. It was very like, this is just a space I'm going to put out random thoughts in 140 characters and that's it. And people interacted a lot more genuine than they do now, like genuinely than they do now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't constantly trending stuff, and no politicians were on there for crying out loud. Like there was no.
Honestly, I just followed Donald Trump just to see what
I refuse. I rebuke.
But then again,
from my spirit.
The only reason I downloaded Twitter is because I entered a competition to win a computer.
Nice. And you needed a Twitter
and I needed a Twitter account, and I was like, I don't even have a Twitter, so I had to sign up for Twitter. To enter a competition.
And 6 months later you send one direct message. And do you want to know what? That was it.
I didn't win.
Oh no.
What's the point?
What's the point? Just get rid of the Twitter. It's clearly not a good thing for you. Well, that was a pretty easy mahakama, I think.
Mahakama,
it wasn't anything in depth, and it didn't do anything particularly crazy, but I saw it and I was like, okay, I need to find out if it's just me that's like
I think there's just a lot of rages out there who just want to find something wrong with anything.
I mean, because I totally agree. Like you said, listen, as long as there's nothing illegal happening and there's nothing non-consensual or whatever, people are going to figure out life as they go, right? So if at 22 she's genuinely attracted to him, okay. If she's not, and she's just like, listen, yachts and stuff all the time, then okay. Like, that's
I get
it. It's fine. Like, if that works for you, that works for you, it's fine. And for him, if he's like, I just want a pretty girl on my arm, okay. And if he's like, no, I would like love her and I have so much in common with her, then no.
I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. But it's just, there was so much upset.
Oh, right.
And I was like, wait.
Right.
Not at the initial story. That's the thing. It wasn't at the initial story. When the initial story broke, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, here we go. Rich people doing rich people shit." And it was just that.
Well, isn't that the thing though? It's just rich people doing rich people shit.
Right. Fine. Cool. Yeah. But then I think it's this new wave of Steve Harvey is supposed to be this guy who's I don't know who they think Steve Harvey is supposed to be, but it's just that it kind of became about. Well, how are you just going to be on a yacht with your kid and Diddy and what the hell? And
I don't know. Maybe they. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't really know, do we? So.
No.
Mercy, I suppose.
Mercy it is.
Mercy it is.
Mercy mostly because it
doesn't really fucking matter, does it?
It doesn't matter, and it's not our business.
It doesn't matter at all.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
I'm. You can't shut me up. I'm surprised.
No, that's a good thing. It's going to make editing this fun. To be honest, I'm just going to leave most of it in, if not all of it, because I don't want to break it up. It is what it is. We said what we said. We didn't say anything too bad, I don't think.
You know what? I always say something bad, and then it turns out to bite me in the butt, but I don't really care, because, to be honest, I'm a very sarcastic person, so people tend to take me... I don't know why people tend to take me seriously, but they do.
Do you know what it is? We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
It might be like because of the German thing. No, but like, you know how like...
Oh, right.
Because you have like a serious face unless you're like smiling.
Yeah.
Like with me, I don't have a serious face. I have a resting bitch face. Like I look like I'm upset about everything. Whereas with you, unless you're chatting and smiling, you just look like you're getting on with it and you're being serious. If you say something that's like sarcastic... That's just funny. That's funny to me. That is so funny to me. Because you say it because it is a ridiculous name, but because I'm so used to it, and probably everyone who hears this is so used to it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like you're pointing out how absurd it is, and that's amazing. Like it's just so funny.
Yeah, my mum's obviously German, and we always joke how Germans just don't have a sense of humour.
You're funny.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm half German, so I'm half funny.
So you're half funny.
Yeah.
Got it.
I've got.
So that I just haven't spent enough time with you yet to see the other half. That's not funny.
Yeah, you'll learn my very unfunny side. I can tell really bad jokes.
See, if it's bad, I'll probably still laugh.
Okay. What?
Uh-oh. I'm gonna be on the spot here now. If I don't laugh, don't take it to heart.
I will. Uh-oh. I'll never forgive you.
Oh,
so,
no.
what do you call an elephant that nobody cares about? An irrelevant.
Okay, that's a terrible joke, and we are going to end it there. You're not. All right. If you like this, tune in every other Wednesday. But if you didn't like it, don't judge me off the elephant joke.
If you want more bad jokes, message Linda to get me back on. I'm gonna have a whole comedy routine planned out.
Just do like a 20-minute set at the end.
I'm just
bad jokes.
100%. I'm always here for dad jokes. Anybody? I buy books still. You know those dad joke books.
Sorry, what's a book? What's a book in this day and age?
I only read books now.
Nice.
I'm trying. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm trying to get off social media. But yeah, obviously, I'm trying to increase my intellect, so I'm buying 100 bad dad jokes.
Nice. Your IQ is going to shoot up.
Oh, what? I don't think. And yeah, no, I just like whenever I feel sad, I just look up bad dad jokes and I laugh.
If it works, it works. If you're no longer sad, then mission accomplished, right?
Exactly.
All right, guys, that's Roxanne's advice.
Philosophy of life, there's nothing a bad dad joke can't fix.
Nice. We have to end it there. It's not going to get any better than that.
No, that was really not. That was the peak, actually. That was the only reason they all listened for that one dad joke.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.